Hello, the internet. My name is Ed, and I'm creating my own homemade trading card game from scratch. It's called Saturday Morning Smash, and it's all about players creating their own giant monsters to duke it out, smashing through cities to bring each other down. We've got a couple of speedy updates before we get into the meat of this video. Firstly, the military faction, forget about it. That faction is now called Humanity. I didn't like that military pigeonholed me into just army stuff, and there's still a lot of that. But I think if I ever look at a set 2 for this game, or more further down the line, I want the freedom of not having it have to be all army stuff. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to get this first stuff right first, but at least you know that I'm looking towards the horizon for this game. Second speedy update, the 5th faction, we're locking in demons. I wasn't really sure what that would look like in the theming, but a wicked comment from Bemdoggers on my last video really made something click. See, there's another dimension of some kind, which is where acetite originates from. That's the magical crystal that everyone's fighting over. And throughout history, rips between our world and the other side have opened, dropping acetite on Earth, but also opening the door to the creatures that live there too. And I really like the idea that these demons inspired a lot of folklore on Earth. So, like, vampires and werewolves and stuff are just stories that are built up from humans witnessing one of these creatures that fell through a rip. For centuries, the wizards have fought back the demons in secret, keeping the world safe. Or were they just doing it to keep acetite for themselves? So a massive thank you to Bemdoggers for giving me the heat to iron out my thoughts. I'm now really happy with how the factions look. We have Titans for aggro, Humanity for horde combo, Aliens for mid-range combo, Demons for mid-range aggro, and Wizards for control. So what's the main section of this video? Well, I thought I'd lay out my roadmap for what I'm aiming for. Obviously, this is all a work in progress, and none of this is set in stone, but hey, it's good for you all to see what I got brewing in my head. See, I've been elbow deep in spreadsheets, trying to color code stuff and make charts and graphs and figure out what types of cards to make and how many to make, and I think this is where I'm at. Because I think, for my own personal collection, it would be cool once all of this is done and made and I'm happy with it, for all of the cards to fit real nice into a 9-slot card binder. I'm thinking a double page spread for each of the factions. And if I had to break that down, I can see that as 10 commons, 5 uncommons, and 3 rares per faction. On top of all these play cards, I also want to make 5 feature cards for each of the factions to set up those first 5 giant monsters. Now, these might have overlap in terms of their effects, but they'll all have their own unique art. And finally, there's at least one card that I'm calling the starter card, which is what players start the game with. I'd like for there to be a bit of a variety in this, maybe 2 or 3 options that the players can use to build up their start deck of 9 cards. But I'm not focused on that at the moment. So, I don't know if you've been doing the maths as I've been rambling, but with 6 factions, each having 18 cards, alongside 25 feature cards, we're looking at 133 cards for this game. Oh, plus that starter card, so 134. There's a lot of pieces of art, and I'm not an artist. Sure, I do stupid cartoony doodles a fair amount, but nothing on this level. So I think that might be the next step for me. I'm just going to draw. I'm not going to think about cards so much. I'm just going to draw up the 5 mascot monsters. I'm going to nail down their looks and then draw them in a few different scenes to get back into the habit. And before I go, I updated the prototype decks to full 40 cards, and I am hyped to get them to the table. I'm thinking that if playtesting with these goes well, I might look into translating these to digital so that I can play the game with people online to broaden the testing, but I've never done anything like that before. I'd love to know what you think. Do you want to see a video playthrough of the game in its proto form that it's currently living in? Let me know in the comments if it's something that you're interested in, and if there's anything else that you want to see. Once I'm happy with these decks for Titans and Humanity, I can start throwing together lists for the other 3 factions too and really broaden the game. But in the meantime, I'm just adding ideas for individual cards into the spreadsheet as I have them and drawing some giant monsters. Life's pretty good, isn't it? As always, I hugely appreciate you joining me on this adventure. If you made it this far, hit that like button so I know that I'm doing something right. I'll see you in the next one.